Hi, my name is Ryan Stellingwerf, and I'm the founder and developer of Discover Solutions and the Armor and Grace program. I wanted to take just a few minutes to tell you who I am, introduce myself, and tell you why I do what I do. So back in 2004, after my life had pretty much fallen apart, I didn't know how I was going to support myself. I didn't know what I was going to do. I kept trying to get jobs and I got them, but I was underemployed, I was unemployed. It was just, I was on the struggle bus. But someone told me about the military contracting opportunities that were available at that time. And I decided that was, number one, a good way to serve, and number two, a good way to make a living. So I applied. 40 applications in 2 weeks. And they called me up. So they called me, they shipped me off to their training center. I passed all the training, and they said, congratulations, we're going to send you to a forward operating base in downtown Baghdad, Iraq. Well, I had never been out of the country, let alone gone to a combat zone before, so I was terrified. I got on the plane, I went there, I met everybody, people were wonderful, and I remember lying on my cot at night with a pair of jeans rolled up under my head and my jacket for a blanket because we didn't have supplies yet. And I was listening to Small Arms Fire. And I thought, what the heck did I do? But desperate times call for desperate measures. So what I did was go to work the next day. And I kept going to work the next day, even though for about 4 months, I could not carry on a normal conversation without choking up. It was a little bit more than a little bit embarrassing, but suffice it to say, I was a little bit stressed. So about 2 months after that, I was on my way to the chow hall, and it was fairly early in the morning, and I was walking alone, and I heard a rocket zip over my head. And I thought, what do I do? And so I looked around to mimic everyone else, but there was no everyone else out at that time. So I paused, nothing else happened, so I decided to go to breakfast. It was that morning that I realized that I had made that transition and I was good to go. I could do this. What I didn't realize was I had flipped that switch that created that pleasantly numb sensation. And I emphasize pleasantly when you're in a high stress zone. Well, I stayed for 7 years, loved it, loved the career, loved the people, loved the purpose and the drive and the 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. There really was nothing like it. But eventually I came home to beautiful Montana. And I love Montana, but when I first came home, I was completely lost. I did not know what to do with myself. I no longer had a purpose. I no longer had a reason to get out of bed in the morning. The numb wasn't working anymore. I was hypervigilant. I just didn't know what to do. Now, I had decided to become a psychotherapist while I was overseas, and I had gone through school. But when I came home, I remember thinking, just someone please tell me what to do and I'll do it, because I don't want to sit there and tell someone all about this and just talk about my problems with no resolution where they say, oh, in a few years you'll work this out. So when I got licensed, and I knew I was going to be a combat trauma specialist when I started, so my goal was to find those tools that would take someone from that high stress, high adrenaline situation back to I'm a wife, I'm a woman, I'm a daughter, I'm a mother type mode, and help them make that transition more easily, more successfully, and help them make their careers sustainable. Well, I did that. I've been a combat trauma specialist for almost 10 years now. And when someone calls me, it's generally along the lines of, please help me because I'm going to lose my career. Well, I wanted to help people before they got to that part. So I developed Armor and Grace so that I can teach the people earlier in their career or before that point the same skills that I teach the people who have gotten to that point. And the people who've gotten to that point, we successfully bring them back to successful careers, but let's teach the skills earlier so they don't have to make that phone call. That's what Armor and Grace is about. That's what I'm about. That's why I do what I do. I've felt those feelings. I've been in the high stress job, and I think these tools are what saved me and saved a lot of other people. So if you're still listening, I would like to just say thank you so much for your valuable time.